are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Live at 5, where we teach you the organic approach to making money online. What is going on, everybody? What is going on? So, as you are popping on, just let us know where you're tuning in from. Make sure you put hashtag live in the comments. And yeah, I see you. I see you. What's up? What's going on? Yes, let us know where you're tuning in from so
Hey,
we can
hey.
showcase you. Yes. So, those of you that do not know who we are, my name is Daria Jackson Legonier, coming straight out of Brooklyn, New York, and sitting next to me. Oh, I got him pointing the right way. My beautiful business partner, Takesha Wyatt, and she is from the sunny Florida, and we come together today and this is our last series, y'all. So we're gonna bring it so that we can bring all this that we've been putting together for you so that you can go out there and build a successful business. So yeah,
Absolutely.
anything else that we need to do before we get started with this thing, Takesha?
If you're watching us live, go ahead and hit hashtag live. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're watching this at a later time, make sure you hit hashtag replay and let us know where you're
Okay.
tuning in from. Other than that, right above you, you're gonna see something that says StreamYard.com/ Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, wherever you're watching us from. And all you have to do is click it, and it's gonna give StreamYard and that platform permission to work together. So that way, whenever you make a comment, we can see your profile picture and name, right? So you won't come up as Facebook user or LinkedIn user, right? So I love it.
Exactly.
Yes. And
Exactly.
of course, we also don't want to forget to let you guys know to hit that notifications bell, right? That way you can know each and every Tuesday when we go live. Of course, we go live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Tuesday, right? So you definitely want to be notified so that when we go live, you will get that little ding, right? You get that notification. So yeah, I'm super excited about this the final piece of the puzzle that we're gonna implement tonight. And Daria and I are gonna share some slides with you guys, and we're gonna share with you the tool that we actually use to make this super simple, right?
Super
Because as
simple.
we tell you guys all the time, right? As we tell you all the time, tools are what makes the things that you do passive, right? You utilize tools so that you can have passive income. That's the way that it
Mhm.
works. And we're gonna, of course, talk all about it, right? So let's go ahead and get started because we're gonna do a little synopsis, right, of what we talked about last week, right? Because this is the second part of part five. So in case you
Mhm.
missed the first part of part five, right? In case you missed part one of number five, we're going to give you a short little synopsis. Oh,
I don't know.
and we're just going to,
Just have to bring it all back. Just have to.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, and real quick before
There
we
we
get
go.
started, I just wanted to give a shout out to those of you that are watching us on LinkedIn. Those of you that are watching us on our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button so that you can get notification when we're uploading another video or going live on YouTube. Shout out to all of you that are watching us on Instagram and also on our Facebook page and group. So I think we covered everybody. I think we covered everybody.
Indeed.
All right, so it looks like it is time for us to get started. So we're going to be discussing the formula for effortless sales through Facebook Yeah. So just to put a put a little note out there, if you are not in your messenger daily, then you are not doing what we call an income producing um activity. And
Activity.
you should be doing income producing activities every day. Even if it's just Monday through Friday and you take the weekends off, that's cool, but you should be doing income producing activities often. And if you're not doing those things, that might be the reason why you are not earning the income that you're looking for. So make sure you keep that in mind. So as we go on, there we have a lot of information on our slides. So if you feel free to take a snapshot of what it is that you feel that you need, you are more than welcome to do that. All right. So it is time to get into it. So here's a real quick recap of what we did last week. And so we were talking about accepting a friend request, a new friend request, and what you should do. So, step one, when you receive a new friend request, you want to like and comment on a few posts. So the quicker you interact, the quicker they'll interact with you. You want to wave, just send a wave and a quick message in Messenger. Hey, how you doing? Nice to connect. Nothing, nothing tough, everything natural, right? They're gonna respond to you.
Absolutely.
You want to reply to them naturally, just like you would if you was talking to someone sitting right next to you, right? So it's nothing complicated. Everything is smooth and cool, right? So step four, you want to inquire about their location or their profession, and then when it's called for, you smoothly transition into business because we're all on here to make money, especially if you're reaching out to people that are in your niche. They're trying to figure out how to make money, and you're going to give them the solution. Or they might be on here trying to figure out how to lose weight or looking for different things, maybe to increase their credit. There's so many things, right? Just some
Absolutely.
minds just so they know how to start their day. Some people just don't know how to start their day where they can have a great day. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons why we're on social media, and a lot of the things that we have that we offer, we are providing a solution. So basically, this is your um this is like your precursor or your it's another word I'm looking for when you get started, your screening process.
Mhm.
So you get to see, who it is that you're communicating with. And then you'll already know in your mind if this is somebody you want to work with or not. Okay. So the conversation will naturally shift to business by you just asking some questions. Okay. So that's basically what we went through last week.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the response is about a typical job because a lot of people are still working. When we got started with this, we were working. So this is
Absolutely.
response is about a particular job. You share your own occupation and then inquire about their experience in their field. Okay. So for instance, if they mention working in a warehouse and you have been involved in online marketing for 3 years, you may respond something like this. Oh, that's interesting, and this could be a voice clip, and even though we didn't put it on the slide, we do
Mhm.
recommend voice clips because they get to hear this person, hear who you are, they feel even more comfortable because they're hearing your voice. So you'll say something like, "Oh, that's interesting. I've been doing online marketing for 3 years now, and it's been quite rewarding." Right? So you throw a little something in there, and then you turn it right back to them. How
Mhm.
long have you been working at the warehouse? Because it's not about what you're doing, it's about what they're doing. But you don't wanna I made this mistake when I first started. I was just asking question after question. So I wasn't really having a conversation. I was just busy trying to figure out what questions to ask. So the person was like, "Well, dad, what is this, 20 questions?" And I
Right.
had to laugh. because I had to think about what I was sounding like, and I even had to say, "You know what? You're right. I am just asking questions. We're not having a conversation. I'm asking you questions. So just be
Right?
mindful, you know?"
Oh my goodness.
So so
Yes.
when they mention how long you've been with a company, you wanna respond with, "Oh, that's great." And then you wanna say, "Hey, now this is a great segue. Is that your passion?" Now you got them thinking. And in
Yes.
most all right, and in most cases, it isn't. So interestingly, many individuals work regular jobs, but may not be pursuing their passion.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you'd establish a good connection and you presented your profile effectively, they might admit that the current job isn't their true passion. Even though you could tell it isn't, but at least they may feel comfortable enough to admit it. So they may respond like, "Well, not really," and now you're having a conversation. And remember, folks, this is not about you signing them up. It's about you making a connection. Okay?
Yes.
So remember, we are in a relationship-based business. People join people based on relationships. Okay? So So now that you establish some rapport with this person, they might mention, working on a regular job isn't their passion, which is great because that's what you want. And then this presents an opportunity to introduce the solution, which is your business. So
Absolutely.
there is no cookie cutter as to say, okay, this is when you should um talk about business or interject and bring your business into the fold. It's a natural process. Sometimes it may be a place for it, and sometimes it won't. So you just
Mhm.
go with the flow. And the more you do this, like we were saying last week, the more comfortable you'll feel, the more you'll be
Yeah.
able to see how you can get that in there. And then, like I said, in some cases, it just may not happen. It just may not be the right time. It might not be until the next time, you know?
Mhm.
So you can consider asking something like this. Have you considered earning money through social media? That's a great question. So if I was you, I would write that down or take a picture of this, right?
Absolutely.
Because this simple question right here has been really profitable.
Yes.
Because some people are like, really? I can make money, through social media? What do you
You mean
mean?
it's not just for entertainment?
Right. You know, because I know this question would have got me. Like, well, no, tell me more. You know,
Yes.
you definitely would have got
Like, wait,
me.
what?
So,
Yeah.
so we're just trying to, paint the picture, paint the road for you guys so you can kind of get a sense of how this can go. So they might respond something in various ways. So like this, they might say, well, I have tried before, but it didn't work. You have
Mhm.
those, or they might say, I'm not sure how to do that. Okay. And you got the solution to that. So you're like, yes, I got you. Don't worry. Right. Or someone may say, well, I'm exploring some online opportunities. Right. So for any response, you can follow up with this closing question. Okay. So this is key right here. This is key.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, I understand. If I were to personally demonstrate how to earn an additional 500 to 2K a week through social media, and it proves successful with clear daily tasks, would you be willing to dedicate at least an hour each day to implement? That's your
Yep.
question right there.
1 hour a day.
Yep, 1 hour. And then if you don't feel comfortable with these numbers, you change the numbers that you're comfortable with
Absolutely.
or that
You
you're
might just wanna
operating.
say 500 a month, right?
Right,
Depending on what type of business you have or how long it takes to
right,
start making money with your company, right? So
right,
these are great numbers for what we do.
right. Okay. So at least an hour a day to implement it. Now, if the person is the in your target audience, they may say, "Hey, yeah, that sound good. I'm all ears." Or if
Mhm.
someone that's not your target audience is just not your person, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, thank you. Thank you anyway, I already got
Mm,
something going on," or whatever. Or they'll come up with some kind of excuse, right? But
absolutely.
that's an amazing question right there. So write it down, take a screenshot because
All
you can use this question and you can do your variation of it. You don't have to use it exactly, but this question right here is going to get people talking and they're
absolutely.
gonna move. They're gonna move if this is what they want to do. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's some goal here
Mhm.
that we're about to share. So most of the time they'll respond with, sure, I'll check it out. And then they reply with, awesome, right? Then you want to reply with awesome. Visit this link for a brief overview. And once you have checked it out, let me know so we can discuss further. And then you give them their link. So you never, never, ever, never, 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 ever, ever, ever just give people your link without permission.
Absolutely. And you
Okay.
definitely want to make sure that they're going to be watching that overview right then. So if they're like, "Oh yeah, well I can watch it next week." Okay, well, I'll get with you next week. What's a good time next week? Right? When I can send you the video and we can have 10 to 15 minutes to talk about it and I can get all of your questions answered. Right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
you want to know exactly when they're going to be watching that overview
Exactly.
because you want to be on the phone with them immediately after, right?
And
You want to right when it's fresh on their mind. Go ahead, D. I'm
right.
sorry.
It's okay. And then you can also, or you can even say, along you can either say it and you can add it to this. You can say, "When will you have some uninterrupted, no obligated time to take a look at this?" So you're letting them know that this is serious. We don't want you
Absolutely.
looking at this while you washing the dishes. We don't want you looking at this while you braiding your daughter's hair. We want your
Mm-mm.
whole attention so that you can make an informed decision as to
Yeah,
whether this is for you or it's not. And then we're also letting you know that there's no obligation. We're just making an appointment for you to take a look because that's it. So we're not, there's no attachment to the outcome because we're
mm-hmm.
doing, we got leads coming out the wazoo, right? Because what you have just done, that once someone gives you the permission to send your information, you have created a lead.
Absolutely.
You want to write that lead down in your book. You want to write it down in a notebook, write their name, write down where you saw them at, their first and their last name, where you met, and then you want to leave two lines, and then you want to say, okay, she will be able, Edna
Mm-hmm.
Park will be able to watch it Wednesday at 2 p.m. Set
Absolutely.
it on your phone, and at 1:30, you reach out to her and say, "Hey, is 2 o'clock still good for you? I'm gonna send you the information at 2 o'clock." So that's where the automation comes in at. That's where you can use your digital calendar on your phone. Your
Mhm.
book, you need a notebook with all your leads. You need a notebook with all your leads. So if you're communicating with your leads like this, you're gonna form some type of relationship because they're gonna start checking you out. They're gonna comment on your posts. You're commenting on their posts. Now you're building a relationship. You're building a connection.
Yes.
All right. All right. So, T, you want to take it from here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is one of my favorite topics, right? You hear us talk about this all the time. And it's also one of those things that a lot of people find it hard to do, right? Because,
Yeah.
like we always say, we always think that people are more busy than they are. And we always believe that if they didn't watch it or didn't follow up with us, right, that we're bothering them by following up with them, right? But
Yeah.
I like Darian, I can tell you, it's been so many times when we've reached out to somebody and they said, I'm so glad that you reached back out to me
For
because I
sure.
couldn't find your information, right?
Mhm.
Oh my God,
Mhm.
I saw your message, but I was at my kid's soccer game. I'm so glad that you hit me back because I lost the message. You'll be surprised, right?
Yep.
People are not as organized as you might think that they are, right? And that's
Mhm.
really what it boils down to. I know, even Daria and I, we spent the last 2 days playing phone tag, right? So, I
Sure
mean, it
did.
happened. And we probably called each other about 10 times, right? And we weren't like, oh, I better stop calling them. We needed to talk to each other. And eventually, we knew that we were going to get back in touch with each other, right? It's the same
Yeah.
thing. So,
Mhm.
it may appear lengthy, when explained like this, but in reality, it all unfolds within 5 to 6 replies. That's the crazy part, right? So this way you avoid engaging in lengthy conversations with uninterested parties, right? Because
Right.
you're gonna, of course, keep in touch with the people that aren't interested right now, right? But you aren't going to, continually say, "Hey, are you interested now? Hey, are you interested now? Do you think that?" Right? So upon sending your link, you're gonna, of course, like Darius said, you want to write down their name in a notebook or visit their Facebook profile, save their URL to follow up the next day with a message. And if you're like myself, right, if you have small children, you probably want to do everything digitally, right? Because if Christina finds a notebook, let me just tell you, y'all have some pretty pictures. And I will not have none of that information. Something about kids that, or if my grandchildren get a hold of it, they think everything is a canvas, right? so,
Right.
so you want to make sure that you have some way, and we're going to tell you guys about the tool that we actually use because notebooks in my house are just not good, right? So you're going to write that down. You're going to follow up with them the next day, right? So however you keep the information, you want to follow up with them, and you want to say something like, "Hey Daria, how's your day going? Have you had a chance to review the information?" Right? Because sometimes, right, and this thing is because sometimes when you set up an appointment with people and you send them the video at the appointed time, then after that they get busy, right?
Mhm.
So don't think in your mind, oh, they weren't interested.
Right. That's a
Nine
fair
times out of 10, right, D?
that's
Nine
a
times out of 10,
fair
that's
thing.
not true. And we
Mhm.
learned that the hard way.
Mhm.
We learned that the hard way. It's how do you say it's a minute chance that the reason they didn't get back to you was because they weren't interested. And I'm talking about even people that you hit up 2 or 3 times and they never once hit you back. You know how many times somebody hit me back 3 months, 4 months later? I had a death in the family. You know what I'm saying? Or I had a car accident, but I'm interested in what you were talking to me about. You'd be like, oh my God. And they
Mhm.
always say, I appreciate you for continually following up with me.
Mhm.
Whereas you in your own mind thinking, man, listen,
Yeah,
I've
you
hit
were
this
well
person up
ahead.
4 times. Like I'm not gonna hit them up again because at this point I'm feeling a little stalkerish. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Right.
don't want to be that person like, yo, did, did did you watch it yet? But you have no idea how people are saying to themselves, man, I wish Dr. Kathleen would hit me back up because I can't even remember what social media I was talking to her on. That happens, right?
Right.
If you
That's
have
what I told a lot of
everything,
people.
I have everything.
Mhm.
Everything.
I told
So that's
talk
why
to a
you
lot
have
of
to write down how you met this person, right?
You gotta write it
LinkedIn,
down.
Facebook, Twitter, sitting on the bus stop, standing in line at the grocery, however you met this person, right? That's
Make
why
sure
we
you write it
say
down.
you want to write it down.
Write it
Continue to
down.
follow up until they have had the chance to look at the details and or had a chance to speak to you and get their questions answered.
Right,
Right?
right.
My fingers.
Absolutely.
Okay now. And that's the thing, right? Sometimes you feel like that. You're so busy following up with people. And you know, it's crazy how it takes 5 to 7 touches, right? 5 to 7 touches for somebody to join you in something, right? And that's even if
Mhm.
they cousin, right? Sometimes it could be your best friend. Sometimes it could be you're right. You could have known this person forever. Sometimes it's a complete stranger, right? So sometimes it's less time, sometimes it's more, but 5 to 7 is the average. So once they've renewed, then once they've reviewed the information, right, and showed disinterest, you can politely in the conversation, remove them from your follow up list as far as that business, right? Because you
Mhm.
still want to, of course, keep them down or whatever. Because if you are a affiliate marketer, because Derry and I do a lot of affiliate marketing, right? We are in, AMLM, where they have products and things like that. But mostly the things that Derry and I do are all digital, right? It's pretty much hands off, digital, automated. Those are the types of things that we like to do. And if you're doing those things, you may not have their interest in this one thing, right? But moving forward, they may be interested in something else that you're doing. So of course
Absolutely.
you want to, keep them around because you're gonna follow up with these people less, and you're gonna follow up with them personally, right? You're gonna just keep in touch with them, right? So
Mhm.
you're gonna take them off of your follow up list and put them on your keep in touch list, right? Because
Mhm.
sometimes you be friends with somebody for 5 years through social media, and then all of a sudden, this one thing you posted, they like, yo, what is that about?
Mhm.
I want to join that. Like, what do I do? Here's my card. And you're like, well, hold on. Right?
Exactly.
Like,
That
hold
has
on.
happened in so many instances. So many. So many. That is so
Because you've built that know, like, and trust factor over the years. And you weren't one of those people that were like, psh, they want to join my business. Psh, they won't hear from me no more.
right. I used to do that too. Biggest mistake.
Darian, like, oh, they're
Mistake.
not interested in making money. What do we have in common? Right? That was but that was the wrong, that was what we call stinking thinking.
Yes.
Stinking thinking. Because you have so many interests with other people, it will make your head spin. Right? You never know that one thing that you're gonna post that's gonna make you more likable to that person. It might be that you own a pet, right? I got cats, right? They might be a cat lover. They might be like, "Oh my god, I saw when your cat jumped in your lap. That was so cute." Then you start talking about cats. Then the next thing you know, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to join something just because y'all both love cats.
That's right. That's right.
People do that, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to ask, what did you like best about what you saw? Right? Because this is what is going to let you know what they're really interested in, right? You
Mhm.
want to acknowledge their response and you want to mention that signing up, it's only going to take about 5 minutes of their time. And you want to let them know the exact amount that it's going to cost them to start with the team and the type of training that will be provided to them. Now, if they
Mhm.
agree, you're going to guide them through the sign up process, right? If possible, you want to get on a Zoom with them or on the phone with them and you want to walk them through it, right? And if they decline, because of course, a lot of times people have financial reasons and they don't want to say that, right? Most people don't want to say, well, I don't have $500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
like I've been working my whole life. You know what I mean? I've been working my whole life and I do have a job, and I just said I have a job, and I've been on this job for 20 years, and I don't have $500, right? And
That's
for a lot of
right.
Americans, that is a reality.
That's a
They
reality.
don't have $500. If their car was to break down, they don't know what they would do, right? Because they don't even have the money set aside to pay for the car. So you have to remember, when they respond and they're declining and they're saying something about financial reasons, you want to respond with no problem. When should I follow up to help you get started? Or if you have some type of what do you call them, Daria? The pay buy now, pay later sites, because Daria and I do
Yes.
that a lot with people.
Mhm.
We'll
Right.
tell them about those sites. And if it's $50 or more to join something, you can pay it down. You can buy it now and pay it over time. So we'll
Mhm.
tell people about the different things that we have, and you want to jot down their response so that you can remember what it is that they said, right? You want to remember what they declined for, right? You want to maintain regular follow-ups, with them, whether they're joining now or they may join sometime in the future. You just want to keep some form of open communication. And that's why writing down how you met them, where you met them, if they have kids, the kids' names, things like that, personal details about them. Because whenever you reach out to them, you'll be able to say, hey, how's your granddaughter Chloe? Daria, how's
Mhm.
your granddaughter Chloe doing? I heard
Right.
that she got into this honor society, and you'll
Right.
know things about people, and
Exactly.
they'll be fascinated because 9 times out of 10, people never remember anything about you, right?
Right.
Especially not your children's names, right? Be
Right.
like, oh, dang. Oh,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, how was love soccer game? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you remember that. That's what people are thinking.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal because if you don't regularly follow up with people and engage with them, you'll never know what all you have in common, what all types of interests that you hold. So that's
Exactly.
why it's so important to follow up. That's your bread and butter, following up with people, to be honest.
For
And so
sure.
by consistently following this procedure, it will become second nature and effortless,
Yes.
eliminating the need to ponder over your next steps. Psh, eliminating the need to ponder over your next steps. Let me tell you a little story. It's short, don't worry. So I worked for this company called Metro One, right? And what Metro One was we did 411 service for Alltel, Nextel, child. You probably was somebody that called into my office because we had people from all over the world, right, calling in for the 411 service. And you literally didn't have time to think about anything in between calls because it was an inbound call service, right? So
Mm.
you're speaking to 800 to 1,000 people a day, not a week,
It's a
a
lot of
day,
people.
a day. So when people tell me they can't, you know, they can't talk to a lot of people in one day. They only spoke to 5 people. They only spoke to. You definitely have a lot more time to speak to people than you think you have. Because, like I said,
Mhm.
in an 8-hour shift, we only worked 8-hour shifts. And in an 8-hour shift, 800 to 1,000 calls. Thank you for calling Alltel. This is Keisha speaking. How can I help you? Boom, 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 right? So, even that was a numbers game. Even that was a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
Having all those people calling in and getting services. Some people calling in to find out movie times. Some people calling to find out directions. You'd be surprised all the things people call in to find out. And of course, the key was that people always followed up. If there was a bad call or if
Yeah.
something happened, right? All these calls are being recorded. All these calls are being recorded. So just like how they say, uh, for training purposes, that is real. Right? Because you'll listen to those recordings, right? Even when you're in training, and you'll hear what you shouldn't say to people, what you should be saying to people, things like that. And it just reminds you that you have to go through a lot of numbers. You have to go through a lot of numbers to make a difference, right? And so I used to say all the time, I hate when they say it's a numbers game. Like, what does that mean? That means you have to speak to more people. That's what a
Mhm.
number.
That's
That
what it
means
is.
more people you speak to, the better your chances are of getting a lot of people to join. Right? You got to
Yes.
speak to a lot of people to get a lot of people to join. Right?
Yes.
Every now and then you put in somebody that puts in a whole bunch of people, but let's face it, in the beginning, you the one putting in those people that's gonna put in, rock stars. Sometimes those people your rock stars. So you just got to be consistently following this procedure, right? And before you know it, you'll be hitting people up every single day effortlessly without even thinking about it. You'll
Mm.
look up and be like, oh dang, I've been sending out messages for the last hour. It seemed like 10
Mhm.
minutes. Because
Yep.
after a while, I promise you, you'll be like, dang, that was an hour? Wow. Because it goes by so fast. And especially when you enjoying the conversations that you're having with people. So, if someone responds with a background in network marketing, you want to respond with your own background and inquire about their experience. Right?
Yes.
For instance, if they mention, being part of ABC Network and you've been marketing online for 4 years, you can say, oh, that's interesting, right? I've been marketing online for 4 years now, and it's been a rewarding journey. How long have you been with ABC Network? Right? Because
Yeah.
people like when they can talk about themselves. That makes them more interested in the conversation because we're talking about me, right? That's what everybody believes, right? We're talking about me. Oh, this person is interested in me and what I have to say, right? If someone appears satisfied with their current situation, further conversation may not result in generating a lead or a sale this day, as they may not see the need for assistance. And in such instances, it is advisable to politely end the conversation as far as trying to get them to want the information that you have, right? You can
Right.
just a casual conversation, and then of course when you follow up with them in 3 months or next month or whatever, you'll just be following up with them, finding out how they're doing. You want to focus your efforts on individuals actively seeking business opportunities, those encountering challenges, people in transitional phases, and of course, those that are not achieving their desired outcomes in their current business. Because a
Yes.
lot of times they're not achieving their current goals because of the person they came in under, right? And they don't know to reach above, right? Sometimes you have to reach above the person that brung you in because sometimes that person that brung you in isn't as hungry as you are.
Right.
You're
Yes.
ready to shoot to the top of the company. The person that brought you in, they're like, I just want to make an extra $300 a month to, you know what I mean, to pay for my kids' cheerleading outfits or whatever the extracurricular activities they're doing.
Mhm.
My dog is my credit card. I love you, Dr. Kathleen.
Oh man,
I'm
I
like,
can't breathe.
what? She is hilarious. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So when you ask people about their tenure at a company, some may respond honestly about their experience. It's been rather slow recently. It's been a bit inconsistent, but I'm determined to stay committed. In such cases, you can follow up with I see. Do you have a particular income target in mind? Because you want to find out, is this person somebody who's looking to completely get away from their job, right? Or are they just looking to supplement some of their income, right? Like they wouldn't mind staying at their job if they could just make an extra $500 a month, right? Because you want to know who it is that you're working with and what it is that their goals are, because you want to help them reach their goals, right? It's all
Exactly.
about them and what they want, right? So some might reply, if I could just reach $1,000 a month, that would be fantastic. Like that's
Fantastic.
date night money. That's, you know what I mean? That's other things that I want to do. Just being able to enjoy, that'll take some pressure off of the bills and things like that. And we won't mind being able to do more as a family because we'll be able to afford it without it causing stress, right? Without it
Right.
causing stress on the family. Because, of course, that's why a lot of people stopped taking vacations and started taking those vacations or
Yeah.
staycations, right?
Yes. They got
Right? So
creative.
we're trying to help people to make some extra income so that they can go on more trips and have a fuller life, right? Because we're not meant to just work and pay bills and die, right? We're meant to enjoy this life, right? We're meant to gain knowledge. We're meant to view things. We're meant to grow and evolve, right? So now you can respond with a statement like, "That's a great objective. $1,000 a month. That's phenomenal. So suppose I could personally guide you on how to generate $1,000 or more a month through social media, and it actually yielded results. So if you knew what steps to take daily, would you be able to dedicate at least an hour each day to implement it?" Remember, we asked this before. Same thing.
Right.
Because
Same
you
one.
want yeah, you want to know what their dedication level is. Are they
Mhm.
really serious about making money online? Are they even going to put in the time to make $1,000 a month? Right? Or are they going to just pay their money and then quit in 3 months and complain that they feel like they got scammed?
Yeah. Right.
We right, right, and that's a fact.
Mhm.
So every time you like, they gonna be my rock star. Oh, they gonna quit in 3 months. Just right. One eye you like, yeah. The other eye you like, so you just never know. So, so some individuals may agree, and then you can proceed with the process we outline for closing and following up with those who have full-time jobs, because a lot of times people with full-time jobs are the hungriest, right? They need that extra income.
Yes.
They want that extra income. They ready to retire. They sick of their job, whatever have you,
Need a
right? They need
change.
that.
Something.
Yeah. Share the
Mhm.
information with them and ask them to review it. Keep a record of their details in a document or a book, like we were saying. Follow up the next day, and so on, right? Because you want to follow up with them the next day, then you want to follow up with them the next week, right? Then you want to follow up with them in 2 weeks, then you want to follow up with them in a month, depending on if you're catching them, depending on how the conversation is going, right? Because once you already know that they're not interested, then of course now you know you're just keeping in touch with them, right? And as new things come across your desk, if they're following you in some form or fashion, they're going to continue to see all the things that you're offering.
Yes.
That's all. That's all.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
It's really not rocket science, and it's really not as hard as it may be in your mind, because we tend to overthink things, and in our mind we're thinking for other people, we're thinking about what they might be thinking, right, as if we know. Right, you can't even have a conversation in your mind with about what your husband and you gonna talk about. So how you think you're gonna have a conversation in your mind about what a stranger gonna say? Like, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to
Exactly.
keep it in mind.
Exactly.
You know
You
what I
can't.
mean? Like, it's a whole stranger. You do
Mhm.
not know what this person has on their mind. And let
You
me
don't.
tell you, like I say, the funeral thing, I talk about that because that's a real thing, right?
Mhm.
I have people join stuff all the time. And you'll hear them every once in a while, then they'll disappear, and then they'll come back and be like, I had 3 deaths in the family back to back. Like every week for 3 weeks, somebody died in my family. And you're like, whoa,
Wow. Right?
right? So that's why you don't count them out. Oh man, they're not interested. Oh, they're not responding.
Mhm.
Sometimes, some a lot of times people don't know how to compartmentalize. Right? Derry and I have gotten very great at compartmentalizing, right? So the house could be on fire and we'll be over here like, so on today's live at 5, right? We be on point. People like, dang, every Tuesday. Not because life isn't happening, because believe me, life is happening all around us, honey.
All
A
around
lot
us.
of life happening, and it's vivid.
That's right.
Like,
Life is life.
listen, we have the same things. I have an elderly mom, you know what I mean? I have a 7-year-old daughter, I have 3 adult daughters, I have grandchildren. Life is happening. Let me tell you, right? And everybody competing for your time and everybody competing for your attention. And you don't want to spend all of your time figuring out how certain things work and doing it the wrong way. You want to follow this 7-part series, this 5-part series to the T. And if
Yes.
you having difficulties on social media with building your personal brand, right? Generating authentic social posts, you know what I'm saying? If you want help writing all of your messages perfectly
Mm.
with limited access to chat GPT, if you want to be able to have your teams to join, if you want to be able to add unlimited contacts and follow up with people seamlessly, right? And have everything in one place, have 24-hour customer support and more, right? This is the link that you want to go to right here. You can either scan this QR code or you can go to this link, right?
Yeah.
And you
And
can actually test drive this tool, Now Site. You can test drive Now Site for free for 7 days. And let me tell you, Derry and I utilize this. We've been utilizing this for years to do email
mhm.
marketing, to create websites, to create funnels, you name it, to follow up with people for us, right? The whole nine, right?
The whole
There's a free CRM. Don't y'all ask me what CRM stand for. Something about some customers, customer response message or something like that. Don't play. All I know
customer
is
retention management system or something like that. Management, something
like
like that.
that. Y'all know what we saying. So, in other words, this CRM, of course, it is like how Dario was saying, a notebook. It's essentially you having an online file, as you were, right? An online file with all of your people's information, right? And when you follow up with them, it's right there in a bird's eye view. You can see how many kids they have, whatever information you put in there, right? And also, it also will get leads for you, right? That's the one thing we didn't put on here. But this thing will find leads for you, right? It will give you leads every single day, right? So you don't have to worry about running out of leads and running out of people to talk to because it will give you people to talk to. You want to test it out for free? There it is right there. 7 days for free.
Oop-
You'll
Oops, what happened?
absolutely love it.
There we go. Mm, okay, I don't know what's going on with my thing. So
Oh
you got
yeah,
the
that
QR
that is
code.
Effortless.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you
you
got the
feel
QR
free to take
code
a
there
picture.
and the link. Yes.
Yes,
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, you want to test drive it for free, but you only have a couple of days to do it,
absolutely.
so So we highly recommend that you use the QR code, take a picture of it, or go to the link and do it today so you can test drive it for free. They will not ask for a card. So you don't have to worry about, pulling out your card, but at least you get a chance to and there's just so much, you'll meet Eric AI. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And
It's
tell them
it's
what
it's
that is. We might, well, let's see, we're running out of time, but you guys know Eric Worre. You on this call, you heard of
Mhm.
Eric Worre, right? Eric
Right.
Worre AI. Imagine having Eric Worre
Every
in your pocket, putting out
20.
messages and posts for you, right? You guys have no idea. You definitely want to check out
You want to
and
check them,
test
you
drive
can
this
ask.
now. If you have Now Sight, you definitely want to utilize it. The CRM is coming this week. If it's not already there, you definitely have a phenomenal way to follow up with people, right?
Mhm.
Follow up with people and not even have to worry about, am I bothering them? Is this bothering them? Right.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
absolutely phenomenal. So yeah,
Exactly.
guys, this has been great. We love getting on here with you guys. And we're going to see you, of course, next Tuesday for another phenomenal. I don't know if we're going to be doing a training or an interview, but we'll let you know in the next couple of days. We'll know in the next couple of
Most
days.
definitely.
And we'll see you guys on Tuesday, 5
Yes.
p.m.
Yes.
Eastern
So have
Standard
an amazing evening. Bye.
Time. Bye, guys.